What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Disheveled Coffee Roasting Business Owners Podcast. Just kidding. The price of coffee has gone up by 30% this past month, and I'm feeling it. But this is the Actually Good Coffee Podcast, the show where we talk about why it might have been a bad idea for me to get a small business assistance loan purchased Maiden 2.5 years ago. That's obviously sarcasm, but what isn't a joke is the squeeze coffee roasters are feeling all around the United States. From tariffs, high green coffee costs, a competitive market, and a high bar to entry, coffee roasters everywhere are rethinking their once romanticized passion project and seriously thinking about getting out. At one point, owning a coffee roasting company sounded like a dream. From coffee veterans all the way to your sweet old Uncle Vince, who stops into your roasting facility once a month looking for a free bag of coffee. Third Wave Coffee ignited this idea of running a small third-place business as a way to counteract the soullessness of large coffee chains. These third-place cafes and roasteries attracted millennials like a moth to a flame, looking for that new pour-over offering, potentially leading to a newfound appreciation for a specific coffee variety, process, or origin. Although this practice is still continued today and heavily relied on for Maiden Coffee's business model, it has since evolved into home baristas dropping a bomb on espresso equipment in hopes that it could lead to the eventual beginning of their coffee business. Take a look at any coffee-centered Reddit forum, or maybe get your daily dose of baristaphobia and stop into your local coffee shop. I'm sure you'll find people talking about their dreams there. But today I want to focus on the coffee roasting business specifically, because as Marius Nika from Olivo Coffee Culture puts it, passion is the spark. It gets you in the game, but it won't pay rent, cover green coffee costs, or fix a faulty roaster. Coffee hit a 50-year high at $4.41 in February. It seemed to settle a bit these last few months, but more recently this month it has risen 30% and is currently sitting at $3.80. This is due in part to the recent cold front experience in Brazil and the massive 50% tariff placed by the United States on the largest coffee exporter in the world. Couple the continually unstable coffee price with increased logistics, energy, and cost of goods, and you have a pretty rough outlook for the small business owner. This article also mentions something about Romania and how they have easier access to roasters all across the EU, but I don't believe that's actually going to be significantly cutting into the US market by any means. Even Coca-Cola's recent $5.1 billion investment into Costa Coffee is looking pretty bad. And this is just one of the many legacy coffee brands who are posting losses this year due to flat sales. So what do you do as a small roasting company owner? Well, you sell. Just kidding. Don't sell unless you're really drowning, then it might not be a bad idea to look to get out of the business. But this vertical integration of large corporations buying out small roasting companies is really becoming prevalent in the coffee industry. Luke Waite, owner of Pomelo Coffee Consulting, recently posted about how this year he's been receiving 1 to 2 inquiries of people looking to either buy or sell the roasting business per week, whereas in years past, he received a handful of inquiries once a year. The Keurig Dr. Pepper company just bought Pete's, the same guys that own La Colombe. The competition is increasingly growing, and the reality is you need to be able to grow a team that can support your vision for your business. The way you grow that team is by making money, believe it or not. And with an estimated startup capital of $120,000 needed, it's going to take a decent amount to get there. So what can you do in the meantime? Most of you may not know this, but before I took over Maiden, I actually started a coffee reviewing Instagram. I was trying to be a DJ at the time, and one of the prerequisites of this prestigious line of work was that I needed to have a social media following. And at the time, my sister was traveling a lot for work and sending me coffee from all the different places that she was visiting. So I figured since Dave Portnoy was doing it with pizza, then why couldn't I do it with coffee? By the way, this model still actually works if any of you happen to be wanting to grow a social media account or have just been off of social media for the past 5 years. But slowly, these videos turned into a passion project where I released merch, collaborated with local coffee shops, and eventually got to the point where I wanted to start roasting with an electric roaster I purchased off of Alibaba. I made maybe a few $1,000s in total from running this Instagram account. To be honest, I probably just broke even after everything was taken into account, but I started to get a better understanding of the coffee industry and learned how to edit videos and follow trends, which is incredibly important in an industry like coffee that is constantly changing and latching on to modern trends. I'm speaking to coffee shop owners especially. So after I roasted coffee out of my rental apartment's garage for half a year, I realized I should probably start looking to do this legally. I had this whole coffee launch plan for my brand, paid a graphic designer to make the bags, shot the ads, but one day I ran into the old owners of Maiden in a coffee shop and mentioned how I was looking for a commercial space to roast coffee. They mentioned to me that they were looking to sell their business, and after about 9 months of going back and forth with the local bank, I purchased Maiden Coffee Roasters. Now, I still needed an SBA loan to buy this company, and looking back, I honestly wish I spent more time within the industry itself. But if your only speed is go and work best when your back is up against a wall like myself, then that may be what you need to do in order to get the ball rolling. Just understand that it's only gotten harder since even 2.5 years ago when I first started with Maiden. You have to be disciplined. If you are a business owner and want to learn more, take a listen to episode 42 where I talk to Luke Waite about what sort of changes you need to make in order to take your business from an aspiring passion project to a respectable organization. I know we're just talking about coffee here, but I think a lot of these apply to really any business owner in general, and that episode has been continuing to gain traction. A lot of people seem to be listening to it, so you might benefit from it as well. Thank you all for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you all again very soon.